welcome back to Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Silly, here to talk to you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd. So, it is Wednesday. That means we're talking about slime. That's right. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Episode 8, Inherited Will. Now, last week I said we were reviewing Episode 6, but it was really Episode 7. My math was all off. I was out of place, but I did talk about the right episode, and we are reviewing these in order. Yay, good job me. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about this week's latest episode, what I liked about it, things that I feel are different from the manga, as always. But then again, when I read this part of the manga, it was like a year and a half ago, so who knows? Maybe they're doing everything right. Maybe they're adding stuff from the light novel, because I haven't read the light novel. So, I think it feels like they're putting both these things together. I don't know. So, yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like some of the things that are in the anime weren't in the manga, but it's not actually detrimental to the anime. It actually adds to the story, and I like it. So there's that. So, as always, there's a spoiler warning right here because maybe you didn't see the episode, so go watch the episode, come back, we're going to talk about it at detail, in length, sorta, and yeah, starting now. So, the episode opens up right at the end of, well, not quite right at the end, but just after Rimuru has eaten Ifrit and freed Shizu from the curse placed on her by the demon lord that summoned her, whose name we learned is Leon. Psh, well, I already knew that because I read the manga, but that's not important. Yeah, so we learned that his name is Leon Cromwell. And Shizu basically is like laying on a bed. She's very weakened from the fight, and she's talking with her, and Ruru's like, hey, you know, save your strength, don't talk too much, you're gonna be fine. But Shizu basically doesn't listen to that. She's like, you need to hear my story. Somebody has to hear my story. And so Rimuru listens, and we find out that she got abandoned by Leon pretty early. Well, not exactly too early on, but not like soon after she was summoned. But, you know, basically he got attacked, and he retreated and left Shizu at his castle to defend it, which was, you know, his choice, whatever. She was discovered by the great hero, whose name we don't know. It's just the great hero. Is it the same hero that saved Veldora 300 years ago? Nobody knows. But yeah, she spars with the, well, she doesn't spar, she attacks and fights with the great hero, and the great hero doesn't kill her, even though she could have, probably pretty easily. She instead frees Shizu from guarding the palace and takes her along on her many adventures, and which Shizu is very happy about talking about that, until we get to the part where one day the great hero just left her, promising to one day return for her, which she never did. So it's super bittersweet. Maybe, I don't know, I have theories possibly about that. Maybe the great hero has to go away for so many years to like recharge their great hero powers. Maybe the great hero travels between worlds and it just takes a long time to come back. I don't know. Yeah. So Shizu talks about how she went adventuring on her own, and that's how she gained the title, the Conqueror of Flames, by doing great heroic deeds, because the mask she got from the hero, which allowed her to suppress the Ifrit and allow her to learn to control it a little bit. We find out that, you know, after doing that for so many years, she was like getting older. She did this for decades. And she was getting older, and it was getting harder to control Ifrit, so she decided to to retire and become a school teacher. And basically, she taught kids who were summoned from other worlds how to survive and live and, you know, train up their magic and stuff. And even one of her students went on to be like the Grand Master of all the guilds, so she's super, you know, happy and proud of the things that she's accomplished. And Rimuru just listens. Like, that's really kind of the best part, is it's just Shizu really talking. Like, Rimuru might say, like, a word here or there, but more so, he's just listening, letting her tell her story, and I really appreciate that about the scene, about the anime, about Rimuru in general. He's just a good slime. Love him. She explains that she actually was going on a quest to find Leon. Rimuru asked her, did you want revenge or something? And she's like, I guess I just wanted him to admit that I was a person. That I wasn't like, you know, something for him, a weapon or anything like that. That I just existed as a person before he summoned me. Like, that's what she wants. And she mentions that she also wanted something else, but she doesn't quite get it out, so it's left in shrouded mystery. I know what it is, but you don't, and that's fine. You'll find out eventually. Hopefully this gets, you know, like a second and a third season so we can get into that, because it's just so good. I'm so glad that so many people are enjoying it. I was like worried, because I know that the isekai genre is like fucking overloaded with pompous bullshit. Like, I get that. But this is a really great tale that really subverts a lot of the tropes of isekai. Yeah, sure. The main character resurrects into a fanciful new world and gains a lot of power. In fact, he's kind of overpowered in a lot of ways. However, he is different in that he's not always overpowered. There's actually stronger beings above him, as there should be. He'll probably never be the strongest, or maybe one day he will be, but he doesn't start there. And it's very appreciated. The episode sort of continues on with Shizu asking a favor, asking Rimuru to consume her the same way that he consumed Ifrit, because she hates this world, but she doesn't abhor it, but she doesn't want to be absorbed back into it, and she wants to be free through being eaten by Rimuru, and he grants that request, and it's a very touching scene where she's reunited with her mother. Rimuru says, dream peacefully forever within me, so maybe she's not 100% dead. Maybe she's just being preserved in that state inside Rimuru. I don't know. It's safe to assume that she's not. It was super touching. I cried about 3 times during this episode because my heart just couldn't take it. The 3 heroes that Shizu came to town with, who we met before, whose names I can't remember, even though they were said like twice this episode. Should have written them down. They are very sad about Shizu's passing, but they're happy that she got to go in peace. And there's a scene where they have Rimuru transform into his human form, which looks exactly like Shizu, except for with blue hair and is shorter. And they basically thank Shizu for the time that they spent together, which is another part where I cried, of course. Ugh, I almost want to cry just thinking about it. And, yeah. And then they send the 3 off with, like, the best gear, and, like, as thanks for, you know, looking after Shizu or whatever, like, because Rimuru obviously cared about her a lot. She was supposed to be his destined, fated one. And in a way, she kind of is. Sorry, I keep hearing noises. I keep looking. It's the train. Ugh. So, yeah. That's basically where the episode ends off, with Rimuru vowing to keep a promise to Shizu, to take up, like, what she was doing, to, you know, go help those kids that she was worried about, and he promises to find Leon and beat him real good. I'm not going to say if that's happened yet or not in the manga. It hasn't. Oh, see. Spoilers, right? But I can't wait for when it actually does. Definitely it's already happened in the light novel. So, all the stuff they added for Shizu in these episodes, like giving her like more backstory and like detail and seeing different scenes for her, that's all added. I don't remember that at all in the manga. Not a bit. But it's good. It adds to the character, and I really enjoy it. And I don't know if we're done seeing her. We might see more portions of her.